Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows I am your host, Papa Joe. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot to me to have you all here. If you do me a favor, if you would not mind saying hi in the chat, nothing else, just say hey. If you're on a different platform watching, like the video, whatever the broadcast, if you will, and I know that their chat features is really just commenting on the video, so let me know you're there. But it'll show up in my feed right here, so that I know you're at least someone's watching. That way, just let me know. That would be great. Really appreciate it. It has been a really interesting day for me. Lots of things going on for me at work. Trying to figure out taxes and all that fun stuff. By the way, it's tax season, people. Found an accountant to take a look at stuff for me, and I realized when I'm sitting there filling out stuff like that for my business and stuff like this, first time filling out everything for a business, I have some extra legwork I have to go do. I have to go fill in a bunch of stuff I didn't realize I had to go do. Luckily, for the most part, I had been keeping track of most everything. Actually, I have everything tracked. I just have to go enter some stuff. So, anyways, I digress. Just a reminder, coming up on it. So what else? Oh, yes. If you would like to help the channel out, help me grow the channel, share it out with other people. The more people in here to watch, the better off this will grow and all that fun stuff. And the more fun we'll all have in the chat, different people in here, different perspectives, stuff like that. Also, I have a link down here for Crypto Confidential if you're interested in learning about the crypto life and how to do that on a day-to-day basis. What different opportunities are coming down the road, pipe, things like that. Would absolutely be amazing if you wanted to do that. Help the channel out for sure. Also, I do a Patreon show every day. A lot of you are in there. I really do appreciate that from all of you. Means the world to me. It is realistically the only way that I have found so far to be able to come out there and do a show that I could talk about things without having to be concerned that the stupid channel will be deleted. That is a very real possibility for this channel, and we want to keep this one clean so I can encourage people to go over to that one, to the other channel, just so that we can have a candid conversation of unfiltered information. I'll put it that way. As I will dig into things like banking and what's going on in the world, economics, and ways that I cannot and will not do on this channel, just simply because I'll basically get in trouble for it. Because our First Amendment rights are under attack. We should have the freedom to say and do what we want. But under the current system setup that has been removed, we don't have that access anymore. It's very maddening, to say the least. And this is a temporary Band-Aid, we'll put it that way, to be able to do that. So I have talked about that too much. Anyhow, so today I want to talk about some things that is coming down the pipe for everybody. I have been trying to figure out how I could adjust a few different things. And meaning, how do I go figure out how to store fuel and use it later, kind of thing? Because fuel's coming down the pipe. For now, it's going to stop coming down the pipe very, very, very soon. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So if you are watching and you like the content on these videos, if it makes sense, smash those likes. Helps other people come in here and find this content. Share it on your socials. And of course, subscribe. The subscription piece is very important. It helps the channel grow. Anyways, let's go and say hey to everyone. By the way, if you're watching live, say hey, and I'm going to do this. What's up, Tom? Good morning. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, man. Yes, this is going to be part of the Great Awakening. It's going to be very, very interesting. They have to be shown what's going on. Clint Westwood's in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it very much. Lithia, good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Supermom, you are Supermom, not Supermom. You're Supermom. Look at this. Just got my first cold wallet. Elliptic. It's really, really tiny. Let's see. Illipal. There we go. Thanks for discount code Clint. Love it. Fantastic. Oh, good morning, Kim. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Daddy-O, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else do we have in here? Let's see if I can say this right. We have Maringe. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. Very neat. Interesting stuff here. Okay, cool. So let's have some fun and talk through what's going on here for sure. Tom will talk about that later. I don't know what's going on with that one. I will keep you up to date for sure. I need to go figure out where those settings are. Anyways, no worries right now. We're good. All right. Yeah. Let's jump in. Actually, I'm gonna have some coffee first. Amazing, beautiful wife made this one today. It's an Ethiopian blend. If you have not had an Ethiopian blend that's been washed when it's been processed, so incredibly yummy. So yummy. Anyways, all right, jump in here. Let's see here if I can get this right. All right, so look at the markets, and like magic, for whatever reason, it's really pumping. And it's really pumping on I don't know what. No idea. Haven't seen anything about why it would be pumping, but it's pumping. But at total random, it's pumping. Oh, maybe this is what it is. The EU joint bond issues could boost euro depending on details. The EU is issuing a bond. For what? A war bond? Okay. Why? These people have lost their minds. I tell you guys just about every day that we go through here and we look at the markets and I want to see what's happening, right? So we have Bitcoin. Looks very volatile today at a nice down drop. Let's see. This is on the 15-minute drop chart. If I can get it to print more. No, it's not going to print more. Whatever. Let's see if I can pull it out. Nope. There we go. So Bitcoin is up, 1,000. It's heading back up. Looks like it's heading back up at least. We'll see. Should head back up. You've got and the Dow is headed back up. Except that little candle doesn't look right. That set of candles just doesn't look right. I wonder how much money they printed to pull that back up. Gotta wonder. These gap downs like that, that's huge. Like that's a big gap. That's a big gap. That's another big. That's huge. So we'll see what happens. Everything's in turmoil. We all know it. We all feel it. You know why? Because they're telling you it's because of the stuff that's going on in the Middle East. Let's be very, very careful with what I say here. Has to do a lot with the oil. Has a lot to do with what's going on in the Ukraine. And on the Patreon today, we're going to talk about if I can find the information. So don't hold me to it. But as long as I can find the information around the different political parties or politicians, whatever you want. I guess I'm trying not to say that word, but whatever. Politicians who are tied to that country. Some of the other stuff that they've done in that country. And how key and important that country is. I've already shown you on the Patreon and shown you who has come out of the woodwork to condemn this and demand different things. Go back and watch the past couple of videos. You will see some very interesting folks coming out of the woodwork. I'll just put it that way. Just understand that they don't talk about stuff publicly unless there's a real problem. This is a real problem to them. And they're squirming. The lights being shown. The cockroaches are coming out of the woodwork, coming out from underneath the cabinets, coming out from underneath the walls. They're coming out. It's gonna get crazy. All right, so let's look at this. Title of this one, The Oil Wars, because it's what it's turning into. If you haven't been to the pump recently, the gas prices have significantly increased. I think there was a record high in the average today of like a $4 and like 16 cents or something like that. 4.66. I don't know what it is. It's only going to continue to go up. It's gone up 10 cents consecutively every single day for the past week, and local ones around here for regular unleaded fuel. I honestly haven't filled up the truck in a while. It's diesel. It doesn't burn through as fast, but last time I filled it up, it was $100. It's a lot. Kind of made me sit there and go, well, that was maybe a mistake to buy the thing, but I need it to pull a camper and some other heavy equipment. But anyways, I digress. is going to be very, 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 very bad here very soon. Russia warns of a $300 oil, threatens to cut off the European gas if West bans energy imports. So, if energy imports stop here, Russia's saying that you could see oil up to $300 or more, and they're threatening to cut off all of Europe. All of Europe being cut off. That's a really lot. I'll read the key points here. It's a really long article. It is absolutely clear that a rejection of Russian oil would lead to catastrophic consequences for the global market, Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak said Monday in an address to the state television. The surge in prices would be unprecedented, unpredictable. It would be 300 per barrel, if not more. His comments come with Russia's onslaught of Ukraine well into its second week. With the already dire humanitarian crisis expected to worsen as the Kremlin continues its invasion. This is a mainstream media news outlet. This is the choice of words that they have. There is stuff going on. Something smells fishy about this. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok, people on Facebook, people on you name it, coming out of the woodwork. These are retired military individuals, most of them. They're going, something's not right. We know too much about what's going on. Since when does a country who's being invaded ever have internet access to be able to live stream anything? Is one of the questions they pointed out. Since when? I am pushing the boundaries with what I'm talking about here. We'll talk about more of this on the Patreon this afternoon. I want to point these things out just from an economic standpoint here. If this actually happens, Russia has threatened to close major gas pipelines to Germany. Talked about Germany on my Patreon yesterday. It's going to be crazy. Just watch. And warned $300 oil prices of if the West goes ahead and bans with a ban on energy exports. Daddy-o, exactly. It is a show. Those of you who know, you know. I have a friend who was about the age of 17. Talked a lot about this stuff. And every day things seem to be coming out of the woodwork that line up with what he talked about. Or they talked about. Tom, are you seeing $5 a gallon? Is that what you're saying for diesel? God help us. Oh, brother. Holy crap. That's wow. Yay. So people, I hope you understand that when that happens for the truckers, right? The 18-wheelers that pull our cars, our car parts, our tires, our food, our fuel, everything. Our economy runs on a supply chain. That supply chain is run by individual people. Those individual people, they've had enough, like you and me, like most of us on the show. Our regulars definitely had enough of all the shenanigans. A lot of them are going to take matters to where it actually is having a problem. Let's put it this way. Those trucks aren't going to be pulling for several weeks. That's going to stop the supply chain. When that happens, you're not going to have any. Just wait. Food shortages are coming. I'm not trying to doom and gloom here. I'm just trying to be honest. I mean, I have no hard evidence that this is going to happen, but I'm just putting the puzzle pieces together. It's like a Lego setup, right? You put this piece on, it does that. You put that next piece on, it does this. Eventually, it'll be built. Eventually, the puzzle will be done. All these things are happening. Connecting the dots. If X, Y, and Z happens with the truckers, and the byproduct of that is nothing on the shelves or in the fuel tanks, or just seriously, people, It's about to get really, really crazy. Anyways, just understand this real quick. Russia's actually threatening on a global scale to shut the world off. Russia is the third largest oil producing country in the world, behind, I want to say, the US and then probably Saudi Arabia. It's about to get really rough. Germany imports 90% of its oil from Russia. And if they turn off that pipeline, where is it? The Nova, what is it? I forget what it's called. It's going to significantly cause a problem. Okay? Germany will have to, in some regard, retaliate or stop it in some way, whatever. It's going to have to be very, very, very crazy. Look at this. You got people in the chat here talking about stuff. Regular just hit $4 in South Carolina. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Farming in input cost. Dude, you and I have talked recently about that. That is going to be really rough. Like, think about, I was talking on the show yesterday, I think, or Friday or something like that. The old ways of doing things, manure, it's not a lot of the stuff that people need. Go find the local hog farmers, the cattle farmers, collect it and spread it across the fields. Till it in. You're going to need a little more, but it should do the work, should do the job. He said, your son is said over $5 in California right now for regular gas. Holy crap. Here we go. Oh, let's see. This morning. That was this morning. Holy moly. Look at this. Clint filled it up. Lowest octane last night at 4:39 here in Illinois. Holy moly. I love it, Daddy. I'm glad I got cows to keep the grass low this summer. No mowing. Dude, if you I've been looking for people to maybe buy a steer or two from throughout over the next few years just for food. If you know anyone who wants to part with one, let me know. And I actually can do my own butchering too, but that's a different discussion for a different day. So, fun times. Well, this happens. Here we go. Flashbang to ban imports of Russian oil, natural gas. So they're saying if this happens, they're turning it off to Europe. Well, there he goes. I forget when this article was published. See if I can figure published time on this. So March 8th. So that was today at 11:50 a.m. See when this was published. March 8th at 4 a.m. So there we go. Here we go. Deliberations about imposing a ban ramped up as lawmakers of both parties called for action on the issue. Sounds like we have idiots in our stupid legislation. They think that they are our overlords. They're not. They are the servants, the public servants. They're called public servants for a reason. They serve the people. That means that we are in charge, not them. Anyhow, the U.S. will ban imports of Russian oil, President Biden said, targeting the lifeblood of Moscow's economy. As the West ratchets up the pressure on Russia. President Vladimir Putin over his invasion of Ukraine. Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. Get this. This is a Wall Street Journal. This is a mainstream media. Look what they called him. They didn't say President Flashbang. They said Mr. Flashbang, said on Tuesday at the White House. So where's his title? Good question. If you know, you know. So just be ready, people. Strap in. It's about to get real bumpy. It'll be short-lived. I genuinely think it'll be short-lived. Not because of anything this schmuck's doing. It's more just, people got to wake up. If you pay attention to different people, I have to really talk about this more on the Patreon show. Yeah. Be very careful. I was about to say something that would probably get this one in trouble. Anyhow, so moving on here. Wharton professor urges the Fed to bite the bullet and defend the U.S. dollar. Warns about Bitcoin taking over. No, who said that? Who said that was going to happen? Who said that was going to happen? Finance professor at Wharton School of University of Pennsylvania has warned of Bitcoin takeover. He said that the Fed has been terribly wrong over the past year about inflation and must act now to defend the dollar because people are realizing that cryptocurrency is a way out. That's why you see the stupid executive order, which we'll talk about that in a minute here. That's why you see all the regulation related stuff, again, which we'll talk about that in a minute here. Just understand, they're freaked out and they know this snowball is coming from the top of a mountain and has started an avalanche on top of that, and it's picking up speed, and it's going to hurt a lot for their little magic, whatever things they do with the stupid Federal Reserve and stuff like that. Anyhow, let's see. Let's go read this here directly. The Fed has been terribly wrong over the past year. I mean, all this temporary inflation. Temporary inflation? Look at the protection they did for inflation last year. So way below the actual way below what actually happened all the way to December. His writing makes no sense to me. Just saying. They're gonna have to do so much more than that. Let's do this here. Okay. Commenting on the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, indicating last week that the first rate hike will be in March and will likely be 25 basis points. He criticized that the Fed is already behind and should make a more aggressive move. They're going to have to do much more than that. I'm actually disappointed in Chairman Powell. Or that Chairman Powell did not look at the history that this is not the time for us to slow down. The Wharton finance professor stressed, elaborating. Yes, very much so, people. We talk about Bitcoin taking over. We've got to defend the dollar. The professor has been noting in the rise of popularity of Bitcoin for quite some time. In January, he said that Bitcoin has replaced gold as an inflation hedge for millennials. It has. That's what I've been saying. You've got Generation X, you got baby boomers, and you got the millennials. Millennials aren't stupid people. The millennials, however, from the time that the majority of them were born to today, have lived through all kinds of crazy stuff. Just to name a few: the dot-com bubble, 2008 crash, the War on Terror, 9/11. It seems a little crazy, if you ask me, that all that's been happening. This psychological warfare on people. It's really funny that the moment that people just start to wake up, there's another conflict of some sort. It's gonna get crazy, people. Just understand, we're about to have a really big problem with what's going on here. But the people are rising up. The people are waking up. The people are not sleeping anymore. When you show people what's happening, you can't just tell them. With this stuff, you got to show them. You show them? They really do wake up. Now, a little bit of actually, we'll keep talking about Jerome here for a second. Jerome Powell, Fed Chair Jerome Powell says that cryptocurrency needs regulation to prevent terroristic financing. So then there's this. You kind of see maybe there's a multiple type of narrative going on here that they're doing with the whole thing that's happening. They freaked out. Well, it's funny, you know. I have my phone is set to be on silent while I'm doing my shows, except for when family's pinging me in case there's an emergency. Sorry about that. It's not, so we're good. All right, so they did all this stuff. They're freaking out that the sanctions can be over or circumvented with cryptocurrency. So now they're going, oh crap, we need to do regulation. Don't they always have to create an excuse so that they can actually cause more tightening down on regulatory related stuff for you, me, the people? Good luck, guys, gals. You can't stop the blockchain. You can't. You can't tell someone they can't use a paper wallet. You can't tell a self-custodial wallet that they have to do X, Y, and Z. They're a software company. They're not a financial institution. They're providing a software that people use that just happens to hold that digital currency. The chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve says that the crypto industry needs to form regulations to thwart digital assets from being used to finance terrorism and other crimes. The testimony before the House Financial Services Committee, Fed Jerome Powell says that the crypto industry must, much like other prominent emerging tech markets of the past, needs a regulatory framework in place to prevent the funding of illicit activities. Just think. There's a need for congressional action on digital finance, including cryptocurrencies. We have this that's kind of an odd way to put that, but whatever. We have this industry, which is many parts to it. It has many parts to it. There isn't a place in any kind of regulatory framework that needs to be. Effectively, he's saying, we have nothing to regulate this, and we have no way to fit this in our system, so what do we do? There's no way they can. That's the point. They have the banking system, and that's their realm, and that's all they can do. This isn't banking first. It is technology first. I say this all the time. So then you cue Flashbang to sign the Bitcoin crypto executive order this week. The president is set to sign an order this week that will focus on national security and regulation. Now, why would they do that? Flashbang is reportedly set to sign an executive order this week outlining the government's plans for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. The order will task U.S. federal agencies to examine potential regulatory changes, as well as national security and economic impact of the market. The plan is expected to involve the Treasury Department, State Department, and Commerce Department, among others. They don't know what blockchain technology is. They don't know how software works. They just know it works. Good luck. And they're going up against, let's just put it into perspective for everyone real quick. The vast majority of people who are into cryptocurrency, they're millennials. And they're the people who watched the banking system screw their parents bad in 2008 and 2001. Like, really screw them. Do you really think that the people who are not just into cryptocurrency, but the builders of the platforms, you've already seen the exchanges whenever they were ordered or asked to sanction different Russian-related stuff, they said no. They said no because cryptocurrency is borderless. It's not a border-controlled thing. Now, an exchange has the capability to do that because they have the different regions and blah, 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 blah. But you don't need that when you're custodying yourself. Or if there is some sort of appropriately configured custodian, say appropriately configured, someone like Viva Capital, they're appropriately configured because of the regions that they reside in, things like that. Makes a very big difference with this kind of stuff. Just understand those things. Before you do it, do your own research. Dig into it, figure it out. It's really, really good. Anyways. Just understand this is coming down the pipe. People are going to freak out, but the vast majority of people who build the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency related assets and or projects are going to first and foremost look at this and say, have fun. No, because we the people will unite together and we realize that this is freedom for humanity. First and foremost, this is freedom for humanity. Okay? Anyways, so if you've gotten this far and you like what you've heard, do me a favor, smash the likes if it makes sense. Would appreciate it. If you are a new listener, subscribe. Nothing else, help me grow the channel, right? And I would greatly appreciate it if you all want to hear an unfiltered version of PAPAJO, where I talk about things in actually really deep detail, for the most part. Join the Patreon. It's $5 a month. I hate that I have to have it. I genuinely do. It is direct proof that our First Amendment right is under attack. And it sucks. I absolutely hate it. Anyways, with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Join the Patreon at 4:30 Eastern every day. I try to do a live show for that one as well. You all have a wonderful and blessed day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.